Rugby League is back.
Drum roll, please.
You're a true Warriors fan.
I have no recollection of that hot take.
We don't all have to agree.
It's good to be back.
It's just a really boring thing.
Oh, no.
Start winning some games.
I think there'll be a lot of changes to the team.
I've got them making the 8 for mine.
Let's go. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Advantage Line. Why is that not going down? My name is Carl Tiley. This is TRB's Rugby League betting podcast or something like that.
Yeah.
What a shocker of a start. Did I say my name? My name is Carl Tiley. I'm joined
You did.
this week by Paul Mawate.
Oh, gee.
Paul, it's finals.
Yes, it is.
I'm a little bit rattled, but it's finals
Yeah,
time.
I can tell.
We are joined by the whole crew this week. He's been on sabbatical or suspension. It is the one man they call Surly. Ben Searle, how are you?
Yeah, good. Revved up, lads. Time to go to war, as Fisher Harris said, and I'm ready to go to war. I tell you what, bad week to be a brick wall. I'm running through all of them.
Love that.
Wow.
Love that.
Here we go.
And next man in, the great Blake Ashford. Aish, sick hairdo.
Yeah, thanks, man. Real going back to Street Fighter vibes in early 90s. So real trying to bring it back, just the old school. But look, Surly took the words right out of my mouth. Ready to run through a brick wall this week. Hopefully the Warriors do their job just like that. Surly might need to go in and have the pre-game speech.
How you reckon?
I wasn't thinking Street Fighter. I was thinking more kid and play.
Oh, yeah. House party, early 90s.
Party.
Who?
Oh,
No,
Something about a kitten? I don't know.
we know, Paul. We know. Paul.
Wow. And last man in this week, probably the brick wall we're going to have to run through. Nick Tedeschi, welcome in, Teddy.
I'll tell you what, it takes a lot to rattle me. But that whole introduction has got me on the back from the get-go.
I think I've done it.
Street fighter, some kind of kitten running through a brick wall, Warriors in finals. Carl can't remember his name. It's all happening.
Bring on Tom Eisenhuth.
She's all go. She is all go. Happy to have the whole gang in town. Hey, before we kick off, I need to ask you boys a question. I had a dream last night
Oh, no.
that I was watching a finals. It was a finals match in Melbourne. Melbourne were playing, and they were doing a scrimmage with whoever they were playing against in the warm-ups, which is a little bit weird to start with. And Willie Warbrook was lined up against a 15-year-old. And I thought, oh, shit, I'm going to get on here. Put $1,000 on him first try scorer. Turned out I bet on the wrong game. Figured that out, so slapped another 1,000 on, and I missed both bets. Does that mean anything, or am I just?
Well, I just want to know why in your dreams you're not betting bigger than you normally are. Why you're betting much smaller than you normally would.
No, I think, there's something that we can take out of that, and that is
I'm pumped. Willie Warbrook's going to score first try this week.
no, whoever you bet on this week will
Not score
lose.
first try.
So you need to think about that and do one team a favour.
Oh, I'm no Sigmund Freud, but I'd take from that Will Warwick played a lot of rugby union his time, and you were probably thinking about some rugby union game, some little rugby union dweeb he was up against. So that's what I'd take from that, Carl.
Dweeb.
Dweeb. I haven't heard dweeb in a long time.
Dweeb. Let's bring Dweeb back. How good.
We've brought it back.
All right. We're going to kick straight in. The opener this week, fellas, I did some hard graph last night.
Yeah.
And I went back and looked at our preseason ladders that myself, Paul, and Teddy went through on episode 4 of the Advantage Line this year. So Blake and Surly, feel free to just spray at will.
Yeah, this is good.
I will say, I'm going to, as I was listening back, I took there was a few nuggets in what we were saying that I've pulled out. Some good, some bad. We did discuss that from ladder positions 1 to 6, pretty would be breakaway. From 7 to 13, you could throw a blanket over. I think we got that. Big tick there from the boys.
Yeah.
Didn't have the right 16s though, did we?
Well, we got close. Teddy said the Wooden Spoon team will win 8 games this year. The Knights won 6. So not far off.
Not bad.
Not bad, Teddy.
Paul tipped the Raiders to come dead last. and Teddy hit him with when was the last time the Raiders won less than 10 games?
It's a long time ago.
A long time ago, another year.
And it's even longer now.
Yes, correct. I was pretty hot on the Rabbitohs being a bit shit. I said they might be 2-6 or 1-7 through the first 8 games. They were in fact 4-4.
Yeah.
Don't worry, that came good for you soon after.
And then Teddy, you and I had a big high five about picking the Broncos to finish outside the 8.
I still reckon I'm a moral victor on that one.
Still think we're in chance.
Top 4.
Okay, so I've got the letters here. I'll go to you, Teddy. You've picked 11 teams in the correct half of the ladder. So you've got 3 out of your top 4 teams finish in the top 4. That's a pretty good get. You had Storm, Panthers, Sharks, Sea Eagles. 2 out of your top 4. No, 1 out of your top 4. I really butchered this.
You, boy.
You picked the Storm to come in the top 4. They came in the top 4. But you also
What a genius.
you might need to just start this whole thing again.
What the hell?
You had Panthers, Sharks, Seagulls, Dolphins, Dogs, Warriors, Rabbitohs in your top 8. So you missed out on Seagulls, Dolphins, Bunnies.
Yeah, Dolphins were a bit stiff there.
Yes.
South's injured a lot, but probably weren't good enough anyway, and Manly had their chance.
Yep. And then you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the
The one I'm filthy about is obviously Canberra, because I said at the start of the year they got the easiest draw. They've never won less than 10 games. It's like, really, I should have been sneaking them in the 8th. I've just downgraded them based on looking at the roster. That was the big mistake I reckon I made there.
You had them coming 13th.
Yeah, so I was real low on. And to be honest, in the pre-season market, that was probably higher on them.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, they wouldn't spoon favourites, and no one liked them. So, except for me and Blake. Me and Blake had them minor premiers, but
You had the Eels coming last. Broncos 9th, Roosters 10th. So I think definite pass mark from you, Teddy.
Yeah, I'll pop that. The ones I was happy with were stuff like the Cowboys going badly. A lot of people had them in the 8.
Yep.
At the start of the year, they were, I think, 7th or 8th in line in betting there. People were low on the Sharks. Sharks pretty better than most thought, but I was lower on the Dogs than they should have been. I think I had the Warriors making the 8.
You did?
Close to, which was they were well outside. They were well odds against them at the 8. So happy with that.
Yeah.
And the big disappointment for me was Manly.
Yep.
What a disgrace they were. I think I had them coming 4th. Yeah, the Cherry Evans thing is being blamed, but why the hell would I pick an Anthony Seibold team to come 4th? Like, who's the idiot, Seibold or me? Me if I'm picking him.
Are you done?
Not quite.
Paul's top 8. Sharks, Panthers, Seagulls, Storm, Dogs, Warriors, Dolphins, Broncos. So you got 6 of 8 there, mate.
Nice.
And the Warriors in 6th spot. So well done there.
nice, Paulie.
As I said, you did have the Raiders running dead last.
Yeah, okay.
And the Roosters 9th.
So, well, not too far away, apart from the
Explains
Raiders.
why you were death riding the Warriors last weekend, Paul.
He's death riding them this week too. I've already spoken to him. He's all in on the Panthers. He really pissed me off yesterday. I had to leave the rugby podcast, Teddy, which you would have been proud of. You would have never
I'm
joined
very
it.
proud. I can't ever think you've left for the wrong reasons, but I'm very proud.
It was a rugby podcast, and he starts going at the Warriors. Bloody hell.
He knows it's the only area I wouldn't have heard it.
My top 8, I had Storm, Panthers, Sharks, Seagulls, Dogs, Warriors, Roosters, Dolphins. So I got 6 of 8 as well.
You were close. And stiff with the Dolphins as well. Almost stiff with the Dolphins.
Also had the Warriors finishing 6th. I had my Titans running last, which I'm disappointed I picked that. Because
Considering you were so anti-Knights all year.
yeah, exactly. So that's where I landed. I think our pass mark for the ladders. A long time ago we did that. But so also as a part of this episode,
we're running out of time.
we had our futures betting.
We're running out
We had five futures bets.
Well, this is good. I've forgotten how I've tipped in this one.
They were pretty good.
I'm guessing two or three were pretty good based on Paul's comments just there.
Paul, we'll get to Paul shortly. I'll leave him for last. So we had 100. We're going to have to. I don't know if Paul can do the math on this, but
I think it's really established Paul can't do the math on this.
we had $100 to put on each of these. Teddy, your first bet, you took top non-New South Wales team, the Melbourne Storm, at $1.55.
How stiff was that?
You also had regular season winner, Storm.
Stiff.
You mean like one of premiers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Dolphins top 8.
Oh,
This is the unluckiest set of futures of all time.
Hang on to this one. Broncos under 14.5 wins. They had 15 wins.
Tough last weekend.
You are still alive though. Grand final. You had Storm Panthers grand final at $6.18. So that might save you.
So I need the Storm to actually beat my team, the Dogs, this week to keep that alive. So that's good.
Correct.
And you need the Panthers. Don't say the Panthers are a given thing, Teddy. You said Storm Panthers. You need the Dogs to win, and you need the Panthers to win.
We've got previous Tommy up soon, so we'll discuss that.
I also followed you in with top non-New South Wales team, Melbourne Storm.
I'm sure Canberra's in New South Wales.
I had Broncos under 14.5. I had the Titans under 10.5 wins, so I got that one.
Easiest watch of all time there.
I took Dragons over 8.5 wins. They had 8 wins.
Oh,
To be fair, you're lucky to get to 8 with the Dragons. They were pretty bad.
Yeah.
And then I had Storm top 4, Sharks top 8, Manly top 8.
Oh, hey. As Teddy said, if you're going to back Seabold.
And I
That's on us.
remember I almost took Manly top 4 in that bet too. I thought, no, we'll just go top 8, just be safe.
The good news is they've improved their coaching staff by bringing Laurie Daly on, so things are on the up for Manly.
All right, now this is the good stuff. Paul's bets.
Oh,
Top New South Wales team, Sharks, $5.
ooh, not far away.
Sharks top 4. Regular season winner, Sharks.
You're all in Sharks, Paul.
Top try scorer, Ronaldo Mulatalo. Grand final, Panthers, Sharks.
Oh, okay.
He really phoned it in, that
All
one.
right.
Do you know what I've taken from that one? Paul's done research on one team in the preseason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, come on, guys.
All right. How did we go punting as a show last week, Paul?
Oh, shit.
Is it possible that you could possibly do
It's like this segment is constantly a surprise every week, even though it's only occurred at this exact time every week.
Where am I?
Oh my God.
I had 1-1. Casey McLean to score a try. My best bet, Storm to win by 13 or more. No good. Same game multi. May, Buller, and Brimson all to score tries. Close. And then anything bet, it was the Waz to make the top 4 multi. Storm, Waz, and Bulldogs all to win. The opposite happened on Thursday.
Wow.
That's no good. Who was it? Carl?
What was your result for the week, Paul?
Oh, I can't remember. Carl, best bet, Titans
What a win.
at $2.05.
What a win.
Ali Katoa to score a try
Bang.
at $2.70.
Bang.
Here he comes.
Same game multi. Eels minus 6.5 in the first half.
Yep.
Knights under 18.5.
Yep. Who let me down?
And,
Don't say I put Lomax in there.
and the Fox to score 2 or more tries
Woo!
at $6.42.
Here he is.
Expected a bit more for that.
I would have expected a lot more.
Yeah.
They were playing the Knights.
And then
There's a fair bit of interrelated in that as well.
your anything bet, Storm to score 41 or more.
Wasn't that the tip of the round that he said, "Hold on, I've found you something."
Oh, yeah. I was all in on that. All in. Thanks, Melbourne.
I don't have Blake's bets.
Uh-oh.
I was on the pod last week and said them.
I know you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been wiped.
That's right. I was 0 from 4, but because you probably just give me some credit there.
Just a bit
Your lack of preparation continues to defy us, Paul.
How much did I win? How much was I up?
I have no idea.
What? What are we even doing here?
It's a busting
This is
podcast.
very disappointing.
Teddy, here we go. Your best bet, under 53.5 in the Titans-Tigers game.
Not ideal.
You had Ali Katoa to score a try. You went the same as...
Yeah, you copied me.
Did I went first?
No, you went first. You were very confident. You went first last week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I have no idea what Teddy did for those other two bets.
Oh, mate.
This is so bad. This is
got one segment. Each week you've got one segment. You have to be on.
It's a betting podcast.
33. Episode 33.
I will tell you what I did, Paul, because that was absolutely abhorrent of you. Stand by, caller. My other bets for the week were
Yes.
Kale. Sorry, round 27. Bear with me again. I'm going as well as Paul.
Are we doing a court session this year? Because Paulie, you don't bother.
Oh,
Don't show up.
if he's back next year, you're off your head, Carl. I had South plus 14.5, under 51.5, AJ try, miserable failure. And then anything else, Tom Jenkins, Hammer, Fox, tall score tries at 393. That's it.
That's it.
I was up 242 for the week, just by the way. I've just worked that out just now.
So how do you plan on adding all this up, Paul, if you haven't bothered to record any of the bets or the prices?
No,
Yeah.
I have them somewhere.
I had a great week too, Paulie. So you better add that stuff up, mate.
You don't get your bets in on time.
He got them in. He texted them in, didn't
I
he?
sent them in. Best bet, Titans head to head. Try scorer McLean, same game multi, Finns, Hammer, Avarillo.
Yeah, we'll add that in later.
You even sprayed me about my multi.
I'll tell you what, you're going to spray me about my multi when you hear it at the end of the pod.
I'm spraying you already, mate. I'll be in the positive.
Okay.
Come on.
Speaking of positive, good segue, Shirley. Let's go to the good, the bad, the ugly, and try and find some good in this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Shirley, I'll start with you. You're on screen. Give us the positivity.
My positive for the weekend was Kieran Foran leaving the NRL a winner. It was almost the perfect send-off in NRL footy. I think he's got a couple more games in him in the Kiwis jersey, especially with the Jerome Hughes scenario playing out. But, yeah, great for him to get the win, avoid the wooden spoon. Just a great bloke, tough player, great player to watch, one of my favourites. So I was glad they lifted in the second half and showed some backbone for one of the Kiwi greats.
I'll jump in there because that was mine too. He did things halves didn't do, ran lines halves didn't run, made tackles halves didn't make. Like to play 300 games, 30 tests when, 5, 6, 7 years ago, everyone's telling him to chuck it in. Pretty cool stuff. And
he should have at the time, it looked like. But he did kick, very great last couple of years for his career.
Yep.
He was my good as well. I just wrote down Foz. And I think it was everything around it. Like, we know what a player he was. You just said it, Carl. But then you had these kids and you had him mic'd up. And that's what rugby league's about. I think Foz, he is a genuine rugby league player, epitomises what rugby league's about, and the good and the bad. So, the Foz for me on the weekend was amazing.
Teddy?
Nothing I enjoy more in footy than the Roosters-Rabbitohs rivalry. I was up there at the game. It was great to be there. But the week leading up to it, with the constant baiting from the South CEO of trying to get it back out of the Roosters refusing to allow a celebration if Alex Johnson scored a try. Like, it was like, some teams say they dislike, say they hate each other, and it's all just, it's all a bit of wrestling show. That is genuine hatred there. So it was great to see.
Paul?
Mine was the Dolphins, not their win over a reserve grade Raiders team, but the fact that they only just missed out on the 8 with basically their starting forward pack on the injury list for, if not the whole season, then very big chunks of the season. I was really impressed with how they went about their business. They've got a Ferrari backline, and once they get that number one pack on board, they'll be very, very tough to beat. Yeah, I was impressed with how Wolf went about taking them through the season and only just missing the 8.
Well, also on the Dolphins, one other little positive they did. They were one of the few clubs to do one of my favourite things, the farewell kick to a player, and seeing Mark Nichols slot one over after scoring on his first touch was fantastic to see.
How about when he took his mouth guard out at the end?
Oh, I was going to say, how good's the smile on the bloke? I couldn't tell if he was happy or not. He's got no teeth.
Barry B, dearie B.
He gives Cam McInnes a run, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's done well to hide that for so long. I had no idea he had no teeth.
They finished. Did they finish with the most points in the comp?
Yeah.
They finished with the 9th most points of any team in the NRL.
They did.
Wow. And they had that really, really slow start to the year too.
721 points.
Cost them.
Oh, Paul's managed to add that up.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've done the math on that, but not the betting.
Yes. It's only a betting podcast. You're all right, Paul.
All right. Give us your bad, Sealy.
My bad, the Dogs. They played their proper team. They've lost some players. They haven't won a finals game since 2015, and I can't see that changing this year. Sorry, Teddy. I'm not trying to bait you. But I think those moves that they made a couple months back has just put them into chaos. I think they're overthinking things. They've gone away from the stuff that worked for them, and I think it's going to be to their own demise.
Yep, that's my. I'll jump on the back of that, Shirley. That was my bad, and we spoke about it last week. If you remember on the pod, we were saying I tried to give a reasoning for Serraldo doing it, trying to form something, and it's backfired hugely. I know Carraz is on the bench. We'll touch on that later, but yeah, losing Bronson Cherry, that's big. And, Shirley touched on the things that happened mid-year, but I'm like around what happened on the weekend, Cherry's a massive loss for them this week.
Nice for you to both take such a sensible approach to that one. I'm going to go on a real rant now. The utterly stupid, moronic, incomprehensible, unforgivable decision to not rest players last weekend by Cameron Serraldo is one of the dumbest things I've seen in nearly 40 years of watching football. That is, copped exactly what he deserved. And not only is Bronson and Sherry out, and Burton and Critter and that not rested, this whole concept of let's form combinations went out the window 5 minutes in. Now, if this guy has any sense at all, he goes, all right, we're trying to form combinations, the game means nothing. So you know what, we'll shove Satilia Tupuna in the centres, and we'll try and form some combinations with Hayward and go, no, we're going to put Matt Burton in the centres for this half. We're gonna go and play Reid Marnie, who has cracked the shits with the team and is off with the rest of the playing squad because he's not trying at training. Is he off his head, Serraldo? And then they want to make a big song and dance about, oh, well done, we're signing Cameron Serraldo. Dogs haven't been in the top 4 in 13 years, and I cannot believe how off this idiot coach I am. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely, that is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. We were lucky to have more because Montoya. I thought the one outside is Montoya might be hurt. No, of course he shows up in the playing list this week. So it's just an absolute disaster and a disaster of our making. And I don't blame any of this on Galvin. The Galvin thing, it's going to take time. He has no off season. Is it more clunky without Sexton? Probably, but no. The bigger issue is moving Hayward to hooker. That has ruined the defensive line speed. There is no creativity out of dummy half. All he does is stupid crash play after stupid crash play. He would fit perfectly with the Des Hasler, Aiden Tolman touches the ball 7 times inside the 20 in a 6-tackle set. Ridiculous. And we haven't even touched on Jamin Salmon playing lock. Dear me. Absolutely ridiculous.
I'm going to have to cut you off there, Teddy. You're sucking up all the air.
I thought there might have been too much spit and bile on the camera.
Hey, mate, can you turn the heat up in here?
I thought I'd just turn the heat up for you, Carl.
I was going to say, it's bloody boiling. Add to that, Serraldo just re-signed till 2031. It would have been a good night at Teddy's household last night.
Seven touches in 6 tackles. Tolman, what a player.
Aiden Tolman copying some sprays.
Yeah. What a rare drive-by.
Yeah.
He must have done a bit of a wraparound or something. That's very good.
I love Aiden Tolman too, just not inside the 20.
I'll go the scheduling, NRL scheduling the Warriors up against the All Blacks on Saturday night. Before you go on another rant, Teddy, I know which game I'll be watching, but I'd hazard to guess say there'd be a handful of people out there, maybe some fringe NRL players who have jumped on the bandwagon this year who will not be watching NRL now because of the time clash.
Good, but I hope they don't come back.
Shut up. This is my turn. It could have been avoided pretty easily. I don't like it.
Yeah, blame Ricky Stewart. We were meant to be the Sunday, kicked up a fuss, wanted a longer turnaround. Like, come on, man. 2 guys in that team played that are going to play this week. You had a 12-day turnaround. I'd rather play the Broncos cold, wet Saturday night in Canberra than on a Sunday arvo, sun's out. We were meant to be that Sunday arvo game, and he kicked up a fuss.
So the NRL is expected to completely change its draw based on rugby union, please. Absolute non-entity rugby union.
But they'll change it for Ricky Stewart?
We did that in the minor premiership.
Yeah, but we had 1.3 million people watch the All Blacks on the weekend, and I dare say...
It's going to be less this week.
Yeah, but it is annoying. It is annoying. Now I'm going to have to watch the replay on Sunday when that could have been completely avoided.
Look, I understand it, but like for PVL or whoever has made the decision, it is a pretty stupid one. Like, and I understand Teddy and a lot of people's hatred for rugby, but to go against it when New Zealand Warriors have sold out, and they will sell out again, but have sold out, how many games straight? 12, 13, probably more. I think it is pretty idiotic from the NRL to do that, even if you put the Warriors on a Friday night.
I'll give you the hot tip. No one made a decision not to put it up against the Warriors. No one knew the bloody All Blacks won because no one cares about rugby union in this country. And you might laugh at it. No one cares. I did not know this was an issue until it was brought up.
Stop. Paul, you're bad.
That was also my bad, Teddy. I cannot believe that the NRL aren't serious about growing the game here in New Zealand. The one way to do that was to reschedule the Wars either onto the Friday night or onto the Sunday. I think back to the COVID season where it was, thank you, Wars, for giving up a whole lot. We love you. Thank you. You're a segment. That's a long, long distant memory. They don't care. They don't care. And
I think they've done the Wars a favour by putting up against it. Sort out the wheat from the chaff. Sort out who's a real fan.
It will be interesting to see the broadcast numbers because we know that league is growing here, and we'll get an indication as to by how much. So
might be the death blow for rugby in New Zealand.
He's relentless. Jeez, consistency is just wow.
We haven't even got to the ugly yet, Carl.
I know. I'm going to start with the ugly because I've been laughing about this. So I hope you've all seen this, but there was an unofficial Warriors fan page on Facebook that, Teddy, have you seen this?
Don't know what you're talking about.
Of course, some drama, man. There's been phone calls from the Panthers to the NRL and to the Warriors.
Burnouts and waking up.
So they've claimed, they said, boys, we need to disrupt. This is where the Panthers are staying. You need to do burnouts. You need to scream. You need to hoot, holler, egg the coach's box, all of that. I mean, it's a piss take, surely. Who's going to go and do this? But
I don't know if you've ever been to Penrith.
The Panthers...
I'll give you the tip. Burnouts, screaming are par for the course in Western Sydney. So that'll be just like home.
But the Panthers, like Celia said, the Panthers have rung the NRL and said, "Look, hey, we found this. This is what they're calling for. You know what? What are the NRL going to do? Like, what are the Panthers? Are they scared? Are they scared? Is this a sign of?
I think it was
like.
I think it was more a change accommodation possibilities because the NRL booked their ACOM and the guy posted where they were going to stay and to let fireworks off all through the night. But
what are the NRL going to do? Nothing.
They should have changed it to Friday night so everyone was still at work on the Thursday.
Oh, there we go.
I can tell you now, the guy who posted it, his real name is not Sione Tuigamala. I can tell you that much for free. This is a keyboard warrior hiding behind a fake account that is just throwing something out there. And, it's all fun and games, isn't it, until something actually happens. And then
even if it does, even if someone's out there doing burnouts.
They will be. Someone will.
No one can stop that except the cops. But,
what are the
NRL going to do? I thought it was funny. I found it very funny that the Panthers have made it. Help. Like, come on, guys.
The same thing happened to the All Whites when they went to, I think it was Peru, for a World Cup qualifying game, a home and away. They went there, and the locals had those samba bands outside playing music all the way through the night outside the All Whites hotel.
Yeah.
So
we should get Scribe pumping on the loudspeaker.
Oh, yeah.
Just
You go to Mount Druitt on a Friday night. There's going to be plenty of burnouts, plenty of rubbish music played incredibly loudly, plenty of fireworks, except they're not really fireworks, they're probably gunshots. It's fun. It's going to be part of the course.
The funny thing is, you can't even get a car in Auckland City because the roads are all cooked and there's roadworks everywhere. So, yeah. All right, who's next? Surly?
Mine's the Raiders. Congrats to them on a great season, but they now can't win the comp, so tough shit. Joke's on you, Ricky Stewart. Doesn't matter what day you play, mate. You're done for.
Lucky you.
Love that. Blake, what do you got?
Mine's not as funny as that's probably more serious in the sense that the refereeing in round 27 before going in, and it's more the Warriors game too. So Wade Egan getting awarded a double movement back against the Knights. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the Manly player was held before the line, dragged the ball over it, possibly a knock-on, was given a try. If we go into two games on the weekend, one when a player was looking up at the ball and they almost murdered Charles Nickel-Klokstad, but a game later, because he was looking at the ball, it didn't matter. He was taken out. And then the referee, I'm pretty sure he can only go up to the video ref when there's a try-scoring opportunity. Well, the player who collected the ball in the Manly game was about 5 metres short, and Todd Smith still went upstairs. So just some of the refereeing decisions over the weekend, particularly that game, sort of got me a bit hot leading into this round. And I'm real interested to see where Atkins lands and a couple of these major referees, because it looks like, once again, I think Ashley Klein was probably one of the best on the weekend.
I went to NRL HQ on Thursday. Thought I'd fix the issue. Turns out I made it worse. I clearly didn't make a good impression. Jeepers, that was shocking, man.
It was
I didn't actually see the Warriors game. I was at a school quiz night at a pub, and so I had it on my phone and kind of didn't actually see it. But everyone, all my mates said, like, don't watch it. It was shocking. It was really, really bad. I watched the highlights last night. If I didn't know, you just watch the highlights. The way they stitched the highlights together, it looked like a really, really fun, exciting game.
It was an awful game.
I've got some exciting news for you, Blake. Grant Atkins' game this week is the Warriors Panthers. Your boy.
I cannot stand him.
I'm imagining that's not about to improve.
Yeah. Blake, will you be running onto the field and getting in the defensive line of That's another.
I'd encourage that.
I'll be nude, straight on Atkins.
It'll be like that South African guy who tackled the ref in the Springboks All Blacks.
Oh, Richie, didn't he give him an uppercut or just?
Who's next? Teddy.
Newcastle are a dumb club. Maybe the dumbest club in rugby league. But somehow they managed to get themselves lower. They're apparently considering some rugby union bloke called Michael Cheika to coach the team. And dead set, if you are looking at rugby union for coaching, you should be out of the NRL. There is absolutely no room for the Newcastle Knights if that is what they are considering.
Well, seeing as you guys have taken up a whole heap of time, I'm just going to go with a very simple one. I am ugly because I picked the Raiders to win the wooden spoon this season. And not only did they not do that, they won the minor premiership. But now that Ricky Stewart won't let the Wires play on the Sunday, I hate them.
Is this really a thing in New Zealand that you're very upset about the time change?
Yes.
Yeah. It's dumb.
It's like the NRL Grand Final and the AFL Grand Final being on at the same time, basically, if you were to put it into Aussie sport perspective.
Could not care less if that was the case.
Yeah, but a lot of Australians could.
I don't reckon there'd be that many. You've got to pick your code and you run with it.
I was blown away. I was at Beaches on Friday night, and everyone was cheering non-stop, and I thought, what are they cheering at? This game's average, and it was the AFL, and that's in
You're in
Sydney.
the one pocket in Sydney where AFL's relevant.
Yeah,
From there to our Surrey Hills.
rich people.
All right.
Where are we? Where are we going?
We're going to go top 10s.
We're like
Okay.
a quarter of the way through the pod after 40 minutes.
No, we're going to speed this thing up.
We do.
I think this top 10s will go pretty quick.
Okay.
Top 10s finals matches. I'm going to hazard a guess to say we've all got the same number one. Maybe not Blake. I'll start. My number one is the Tigers Roosters 2010. Ashford and Carney. Carney and Ashford. The Dwyer hit on JWH, the golden point, and that's the field goal, all of it. Incredible stuff.
Yeah. Blake?
Yeah, no Vito.
We're waiting for a few memories from this. And
No, it was a great game. It was a great game. I've actually got one of us as well in here losing another one, probably that same year. So, yeah. No, it was one of the greatest games to be a part of, even though we're on the wrong side of it. And, yeah, that's about it.
I'm not one to give Brayton Astor much credit, but that field goal was one of the greatest field goals you'll ever see.
And it's still, you look at it now, probably wouldn't have happened in today's game because the scrum, the front row from the Roosters broke the scrum and picked the ball up at the back. So, it's an illegal thing that
It was illegal then too.
Yeah.
Never mind the fact that Simon Dwyer would have been put in jail for his
Oh,
hit.
yeah. Probably life. But that's another scenario.
That keeps Blake up at night still, eh? He's like, beauty, I've just gotten over it, boys. Yeah. Great to be a part of it, though. Yeah.
Good try from you. Good try from you, though.
Yeah, great try.
Thanks, mate.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Go on.
Oh, yeah, probably should have saved this one. No. Qualifying final 2008 at Olympic Park.
Yep.
Warriors 18, Storm 15. Manu Vatuve bursting down the left wing, handing off to Michael Witt. He sort of puts the ball up.
Put it down.
Put the ball up in the air before dotting down just prior to, I think it was Cam Smith sliding along.
I texted you boys last night, and I watched the last 10 minutes of that again, and very nerve-wracking knowing what happened still.
And that was 1v8.
Cam Smith was so Witt almost, yeah.
The best bit was 3 minutes to go. The commentators like, Warriors look spent here. Melbourne are so up for this. And then that very tackle, we go the length, row party to Vatupai, in goes Witt. What's he doing? Put the ball down, son. And then we're in. Beautiful scenes.
Rab's commentary on that was very good.
Oh,
best.
can't find a bad Rabs call. I'll jump in on the Warriors as well. We'll go SJ to Louis Brown, 2011 prelim. I'm sure that's in most people's highlights as well. Probably not Teddy's, but the rest of us, just elite
Again
stuff.
against the Storm.
Yeah, we love beating them in finals, don't we? We struggle against them regular season, but if we meet them again, we'll get them, boys. Don't worry.
I was at both those games, and they were both very, very good to be there. The big Warrior continued in Melbourne.
Yeah. Teddy, I'll jump in because you probably got 40 sitting in front of you. I'll probably steal one of yours.
1954, is it?
Yeah, can we keep it reasonably relevant, please? NRL era, remember, Teddy?
So, so 1998, the Eels versus the Dogs is my one.
Absolutely, number one.
Yeah.
Greatest game ever.
Yeah. So that was, we talk about the commentators. I found a thing there about the commentators with about 10 to go, and they were talking about Parramatta playing Brisbane in the grand final and what they have to do to improve. And then within the next 10 minutes, the Dogs score 16 points. Chooks gets one. And then even the brain explosion from the fullback from Parramatta. Yeah. Almost kicking the field goal. And then the Dogs just run away with it. But to come back 16 points in 10 minutes, amazing. It was a great game. I would have been sitting there watching it. I can't have too many memories, but it did bring some of those memories back, seeing the highlights.
It's an annual tradition of mine to go and Google Paul Carriage game, watch the highlights of that game, just to really, really lap up that. That's my favourite game of football ever played. So, and that kick from the sideline from Halligan, and in the era where sideline kicks weren't as regularly slotted as this one, Yeah, that was unbelievable.
What do you got, Ted?
I'm going just before the NRL era, but one of my favourite finals of all time, 1992. Dragons beat Newcastle 3-2 in one of the great games of footy. Peter Coyne kicked a field goal with not long to go. The Dragons then beat Illawarra 4-0 a week later, but it was, in terms of like dramatic finals, 3-2 was something else. I think it might have been Peter Coyne's last game. Well, last season anyway. But, great game of footy. Trialist semi.
So 2 penalty goals and a field goal.
Yep.
Can't say I caught that one.
No.
Must have missed the replay.
Go watch it. You will find it very entertaining.
It sounds incredibly boring. I'll go. What do I go? 2023 grand final. Do I need to say any more? Probably not.
Nope, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
I'll go 2015 grand final just in terms of the theatre at the end. Thurston, it's the post. Benny Hunt drops a kick-off. Game over.
I'm going to go 2003 qualifying final, Sydney Showgrounds. Warriors 48, Bulldogs 22. Francis Melly.
Hard veto.
Francis Melly with a Michelle Pfeiffer.
Well, you want to put a 26-point margin game in as the best finals ever. Hard veto, even if it wasn't the Dogs.
I might veto your veto here. I'll let it sit for now.
I've got that same year we talk about the Tigers Roosters loss. 2 games later, we played the Dragons, and the Dragons went on to win the grand final by 30 points to the Roosters. So it was essentially the grand final, that semi, and we went back and forth, and it was 2 tries each. There was 70,000 there. I still remember, and the defense from both teams, us and the Dragons, some of the try savers, we even had a chance the last 30 seconds we made a line break, and Darius Boyd got back to clean it up, and it was a Jamie Soward field goal that separated us, and it was probably the grand final play before the actual grand final. But if you go back and watch it, some of the plays back then and the defensive efforts, that was up there with some of the highest quality football I can remember in those couple of years.
Was that 15-14?
Yes. 14-12, was it?
13-12.
13-12, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll jump in. Roosters Manly played in the 2013 grand final, but the better final they played was at the football stadium a few weeks before. Roosters beat Manly 4-0, and it was the best defensive game of football I've ever seen. It was absolutely incredible. Well, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, I think, made 3 or 4 just desperate tackles at the end. It was maybe the most compelling game of footy I've ever been at. Everyone was on the edge of their seats and very early on. It was a game for the ages.
He was the only try scorer too, I believe.
He was.
Roger? Okay. Yeah.
We've got 10 there. Teddy's used a veto. Does anyone else have any?
I've got others to mention, but not probably
there's one that's better than that. That hasn't been mentioned. I thought should be in there. Storm Broncos 16-14 in 2008, where the Broncos were home. Ashton Sims knocks it on after a big Sikamanu hit, and then GI scores the try in the last play of the game.
Yeah. We could put that in there.
Or you've got the Melbourne Raiders qualifying final 2019. They come from behind the last couple of seconds. The Raiders scored, or the Roosters Knights major final where the night in 2000 at the game, the Knights
that was a hell of a game. But like 20-0 or something, 26-0.
Yeah, 20-0 on the Roosters. I think what did Joey said something walking up the sheds, walking up the tunnel at halftime. Apparently, it's been spoken about, and the Roosters come out and put whatever they did on them, starting with the Freddie Fittler intercept, and that was one of the best.
2011 Warriors 22, Tigers 20 at the Sydney Football Stadium.
Talk about rules that would have been overturned. Other movements I've ever seen one.
But Blake made a huge break that led to a try for the Tigers in that match. But the Wars fought back and scored one of the greatest finals tries of all time with Kristen Inu just reaching out and just cutting the try line.
He played in three or four straight grand finals, Christian Enu.
Christian Enu, I think, has lost grand finals with three different teams.
He went Eels, Dogs, Warriors.
Dogs didn't make it in 10. I think I went 3 and 4 years.
Oh,
Eels,
sorry.
nothing, Warriors, Dogs.
Yeah, right. Good list. Plenty there.
A few good games previous that were left out. The 89 grand final, greatest game of all time. Seemed to be too far back for the cup.
Yeah.
So obviously wasn't getting back to the 60s and 70s where I had a few on the list. But
No. I think a special shout out from me was the 09 Eels run, just in general in finals.
Hard pass on that. Massive hard pass on that.
Okay, man, whatever. Moving on.
This is a salty episode.
Let's move on to head-to-head this week before we look at all the games. Round the room, we will go Teddy, Blake, Surly, Paul, myself. Melbourne Storm, $1.50. Canterbury Bulldogs, $2.60.
Bulldogs.
Dogs.
Storm.
Dogs.
Storm. New Zealand Warriors, $3.20. Penrith Panthers, $1.35.
Penrith.
Warriors.
Warriors.
Panthers.
Warriors.
You're a disgrace, Paul. You're a disgrace.
What?
At least say it properly, Paulie. Yesterday you were trumpeting it from the rooftops. Don't act like you're gutted to say it now, mate. Come on.
It's a complete fabrication of what actually happened. What I said was, I think the Panthers have a better chance of winning the game.
No,
I will be cheering for the Wars.
Carl, I just needed you just then to point the finger and then get out. Get out there.
Yeah, you're off.
What usually happens.
Send the bottleless, get off.
It's on
It's going to
report.
be that. Or
It's
is
on
it
report.
like I reckon I could flip this table.
What?
$2.10. Roosters, $1.73.
Shucks.
Roosters.
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 Sharks.
Paulie, you've given up on your Sharks.
I don't even think he knew he had them. Raiders, $1.68. Broncos, $2.20.
Raiders, Morals.
Yeah, Raiders.
Raiders.
Broncos.
Raiders. Alrighty. Let's go into each of the games. As I said, Melbourne Storm, $1.50. Dogs, $2.60. The line's 38.5. Sorry, the total's 38.5. The line, imagine if the line was 38.5 in a finals game.
Dogs are
One.
done anyway.
Is in fact 5.5.
I thought that's what the Panthers Warriors game was going to open up at, but
Get out.
Yeah, that's right.
you're off.
No Hughes, no Pappenhausen, no Nelson. For the Storm, no. Is Montoya in or out? I thought he was
Out.
out. He's out.
Oh, he's out? Oh, good.
Cherry's out.
That's something.
Last four between these two have been split 2 apiece. Average margin in the last four, 8.5, and the average total is 34.5. Teddy, I'm sure you've got 1,000 stats for this one.
Yeah, just a little preamble for you. I don't think either team thought playing a 2v3 game to host a preliminary final would thought it would be under such circumstances with all the outs you've listed and Canterbury in not only such dreadful form but with the injuries from last week and the kind of internal dissent within the club. So makes it difficult. Melbourne have dominated this matchup, unsurprisingly, considering how bad Canterbury have been in recent years. Won 9 of the last 10, 4 of the last 5 at Amy, covered 7 of 10. 11 of the last 14, 44 if you're. The unders hitting 10 of 14. I like the Dogs here, just at the price. Don't have any faith that they're any good at all, but I'm fairly convinced Melbourne are not nearly where they should be in the market with Hughes and Pappenhausen out. That's absolutely massive for them. I know Harry Grant's back, which is they've got a good record, probably the most important player, but yeah, losing those guys is pretty important. The Storm have covered 6 of 18 night matches, 8 of 19 as a single digit favourite at Amy. getting away from Sydney, I think it's a good thing for the Dogs. They've covered 11 of 15 in the state, 10 of 12 getting a start of 4 or more, 12 of 7 of 4. So I'll be taking the plus here. But the best bet in this game, and probably the best bet of the week, is the under. I mentioned the head-to-head history. Playmakers out for Storm. The Dogs don't have any playmakers, so not that matters. So that doesn't help them there. Both teams will go back on the line of their defence. So I can see this being how Canterbury tried to beat Penrith 10 weeks ago, where it was 8-6. They'll just try and dig in there. The under, 5-1 when the Dogs are off a loss, 11-5 when the total's 40 or less. The under's hitting 4 straight when the Storm are off a loss of 13 or more. So very keen on the under 38.5 as well.
Nice. Surly, where's your head at here?
Yeah, I'm just struggling to see where the Dogs' points are going to come from. And although Manly are missing key players in their spine, I still back Grant and Munster to be the 2 best attacking players on the paddock and get the win. So, did I say Manly? I meant Melbourne.
Yeah, you did a Teddy there.
Manly are in their off-season still drinking by some messages I've had. But, I still back Grant and Munster to have more points in them than the rest of that Dogs attacking lineup. So I do think it'll be low scoring, but I'll go the Storm.
Blake?
These 2 teams I don't think are going to run out the way we see. I know Carraz is there in the 23. Probably expect him to come in and either Tuala to the wing or they'll take over Blake Wilson there. Probably as well, I think a thing where the Dogs can attack is Lasati, the other back rower with Bloor still out. Unless obviously Howarth comes in, Chan to the back row. But there's a lot of moving parts there. And I just think the Bulldogs have a chance in this game, as I do almost every game this week. The underdogs are in with the fighting chance. And they only went down there a couple of weeks ago and lost by 6 to this similar team after having a horrid first half. So
I think they scored the same amount of tries, didn't they, in that game as well?
Yep.
Paul?
Very hard game to pick. If the Storm only had one of Hughes or Pappy out, I'd be leaning big time towards the Storm. But just with both of them out, it's going to be. I think, Teddy, the bet here is the under. I struggle to see points being scored by either team here. I'm sure the Melbourne Storm will revert to the kick to the corner for Coates. But outside of that, I don't see too much happening. This is going to be a defensive onslaught.
I reckon, Paul, this is a good game for alternative underlines as well. I think this one can be really low scoring.
Give us a 3-2.
That'll be a film.
I think the Hughes, Hughes is a massive out. But because he's been out for 4, 5, 6 weeks, whatever it's been, and Wishart's been there, I don't think it's as big an out as what everyone's suggesting.
But they have generally gone as busters when he's been out.
Do you think they start with Wishart or Pezzett will come in?
I reckon I've heard they'll play Pezzett at the starting halfback.
I think they should start with Wishart, but I think they'll go with Pezzett.
Yeah, I agree with Shirley. I think they should start with Wishart too.
There you go. Teddy, 20 points or less, $11. 21 to 30 points, $4.25.
Yeah, but 20 or less I'm very excited about. So.
Wow.
One thing I think is kind of being generally a bit overlooked here is I reckon the form of Cameron Munster has been way down this year, other than a bit of a burst in Origin. And he's just getting older. When you're a player whose game is built on kind of dynamic running and kind of jack in the box style kind of footy, when you get older, you kind of lose a bit of that oomph. So, Wishart's a similar style of player as well. I think playing Pezzett in there to organise might offer some kind of help there, but I just don't see where points are coming either side here.
What was I think the stat you threw out, Teddy, last week was that the Storm are 20-0 off a loss. They've obviously lost back to back now. I reckon
20-1 now. What is this?
But I can't imagine they've ever lost 2 in a row or 3 in a row very often.
They did it a couple of years ago.
I have to delve into the archives there, but it would be rare. But how often do they allow 40 points and then 30 points in a game?
Does this just scream, though? of a Munster clinic, like
Yeah.
backs against the wall,
Yep.
no playmakers. Bellamy's been ripping into them. Origin-esque Munster. I know it's not knockout footy, but
I just
Yeah,
don't reckon
that's
the Munster game is the one that worries the Dogs. I think the Dogs are beaten by, can easily be beaten by structure. You know, with Hughes kind of putting men through, going out the back at the right time, pinpoint kicks. I'm not sure Munster's got that in him at the moment. So I said to be correct on this. I'm not confident about the Dogs at all. But it's a game where a bit of individual brands probably will decide it, right?
Yeah. Okay, next one. Warriors $3.20. Penrith Panthers $1.35. You can go whenever you like. The total.
you're like
I don't think you
Paul.
meant for the podcast either, Paul.
The total's 43.5. The line is 9.5. Before I throw to you, Ted, I had a look back at all the times the Warriors have made the finals. They made the finals 9 times in their 30. What are we at? 30 year.
31.
31 year.
31 season, 30th year.
Of those 9 times, they have made it to the preliminary final or grand final 5 of 9 times. They made it to week 2 once, and they've been knocked out in the first week 3 times. Pretty good. I know this is, means nothing, different teams, all of that, but
This bloke will be relieved.
I saw that. You can't do that.
Premiers
Pro.
2020.
Yeah, Surly, take your top off. Show us your
That's not me, mate, and that's a leg. So I don't know why you want me to take my top off.
jeez.
You got to pay extra for that, Paulie. Come on, mate.
We're talking chicken wings.
Changes. Kate Bowen to the centres. Wade Egan back. Licker to start. Jackson Ford back. Kenny out for the Panthers.
That's huge.
Yeah.
People are glossing over that. That is massive, the Kenny part.
That's what I had a question here. How big a loss is that?
I reckon it's huge, eh? Defensively, he locks down that middle. He's crucial to that spine, big time. And with the form of Dylan Edwards at the moment, I reckon that makes him even more crucial because Edwards has been off too.
Anyone want to add to that?
I don't reckon the Kenny glosses any loss at all. I reckon he's a very overrated player, but I agree with the Edwards point. Edwards is drastically out of form. I think the bigger question for me is, and it is my question every week, where the hell is Sam Healy? He was great again last week. Should be playing 14.
What's you got to feel sorry for Tommy Jenkins, the milkman,
Yeah.
on the wing.
Absolutely.
Being swapped for Alamotti after 1 or 2 games. And look, coming back in, this could actually work against the Panthers. First-hand experience, you get the yips a bit when you've been dropped all year and you come back in and you feel the pressure to try and perform. So, especially in a finals game, this could possibly work against the Panthers massive with Alamotti there on the wing. Like one little error early on, if the Warriors can force one from him, I think we'll see a ripple effect.
The edge of him and Tangor is one to go at for sure. And it's on our better attacking edge as well. So,
And the other curious decision was like Luke Garner being dropped as well. Like, I know Martin and Sorensen started the season, but I thought Sorensen's been pretty good off the bench this year. I was a bit surprised. But, I'd be pretty keen to see Luke Garner run at Kurt Capel. I'd fancy his chances there.
are we sold that Tane doesn't come in? Play 1, chance centre. Capewell to the second row. Eddie drops out. Licker to the bench.
That would be a much better situation, I would have thought.
Yeah.
I think I heard I think it was Bloke in a Bar pod this week saying, are the Warriors going to just try and out Panthers the Panthers, which with
Teams lose out Panthering the Panthers. You need to throw something
I
at
think
them.
I would like to see Tane there with a little bit of flair, just to try something a little bit different. And honestly, if they dug in and tried to make a real game of it, throw the ball around and try and win and end up losing by 20 points, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
But
And
it's tough
sorry,
to
mate.
clock if they lose by 4, just going set for set.
And
Yeah.
that's
But you
the
will
thing.
lose that way.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The Dogs, the Warriors, the Panthers all have that same style. Obviously, being coached, had the same stuff from Webby, same from Serrato, all under Ivan Cleary. So they all have the back three do work, like a Brian or Alamotti will come in, like a Roger, like a Dallin. They'll come in, do the early set. The fullback will take the last tackle. It's going to be those little moments, I think, in the game. And if the Warriors can get some offloads early, I think that's a way you unsettle the Panthers, by offloading the ball, keeping the ball alive, and getting in some attacking areas. But I do agree with you. I think if we try and play their style, I think it could be a close game. But when it comes down to it, it's just going to come down to those moments where I think the Warriors have to execute where they just didn't the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's a fine line, isn't it? Because you've got to be semi-controlled until fourth tackle or so that you're in decent field position, because if you make poor piggyback errors in your own end, that's points.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's getting that balance. But, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Looking at that team, I just thought that would be a good call to make. But, hey, in Webby we trust, and we'll see which way it rolls out. We've got to remember we've got a cup side playing finals footy too, but they've got a second life, and NRL's always priority. But I think we'll know 24 hours out who's on a plane, who's not. That'll give us a good indication of who's playing.
You cannot start Kurt Capel in the centres. They're just like, Kurt Capel, obviously origin player, good player, cannot start him in the centres. All right. He's just rough for that. He won't do that. I don't see a way where that happens.
The biggest thing for me was
he brings Tang.
Pompey switching. Yeah, because that's what they do when Chance comes into the centres, is Pompey switches, and he's been named on the opposite side, which just to me makes sense that Chance is coming into the centres, but we'll see.
I don't really want to ask this question, but I'm sure you've got some stats, Teddy.
I do, Carl. Thanks for asking.
You could just say, no, we don't need to this week.
No, stats are going to be very important in the way I'm going to bet this game. Penrith, they've won 8 of the last 24, 8 of the last 10, covered 8 of the last 10. None of this is of any surprise, considering how dominant Penrith have been. But a few numbers here that I think should give the Warriors fans hope of covering. I say that word important. I don't think the Warriors. I think a team with Tanner Boyd is going to beat a team led by Nathan Cleary to win a finals game. But big chance of keeping this one close. Great spot for the Warriors. They've covered 15 of 19 as an underdog, 12 of 16 as an underdog of 4 or more, covered 7 of 10 off a loss, 9 of 13 off conceding 26 plus. The worry with the Warriors is they've won 4 games since round 14, the last time they beat a top 8 team, and 3 of those are against the bottom 3 teams. But they have played like dross for the back half of the season. And, you lost probably your best forward and your best back. So there's a fair amount of excuses in there, excuse in there as well. But I'm not convinced Penrith are going as well as, everyone's thinking this is the Penrith team of last year. This is the Penrith team that's won 4 straight. They've covered just 6 of 16 as a road favourite of 8 or more. Covered just 6 of 15 on scoring 40 plus. They've been beating up on some bad sides, but they really, Dylan Edwards is going as bad as I've ever seen him go. If you're picking the Kangaroos team, he would not be my first 5 fullbacks chosen. He's going that bad. So don't like some of the team changes there. I'm back on the Warriors, but plus here, I think plus 10.5. I'd probably pay for the. It's been floating between 9.5 and 10.5. If it gets to, if it stays at 9.5, I'll be paying that extra, taking the $1.80 for the 10.5. But I like the Warriors to cover this one. Back in the good books, Cup.
Yeah, I've read your preview this week. I knew that was coming. Paul, we haven't heard from you on this.
Correct. Well, I think all we have to do is look back. I think it was 2 or 3 seasons ago to Magic Round when a vastly depleted Warriors team met the Panthers.
Hang on, I thought you were back in the Panthers.
I've started, so I'll continue.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. A vastly depleted Warriors team met the Penrith Panthers almost at full strength at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane, and they did the business, and they did it with a halves pairing of believe it was Chanel, and I'm pretty sure it was Tamari Martin as well. I'm not. In fact, I am 100% convinced that the team that is written down on paper right now will not be the team that runs out.
Okay, so the team that's named on paper is running out. That's good. Keep going.
I'm 100% convinced that is not the team that is going to be running out come kickoff on Saturday night. So it is not all doom and gloom for the Wars, but look, I got to pay the bills. Ain't nothing going on but the rent. You got to have a job if you want to be with me, and that's why I will be backing the Panthers head to head.
Okay. Let's go to the next game.
Next game.
Unless anyone wants to tee off. Surly, Blake.
I was going to give Paulie the Jazz Tavanga as I've just been sent off to the bin, but I'll leave it.
Just quickly, Blake, you kind of touched on it before, but a serious question I want to ask. You are the only person in this room that has played a finals match in the NRL. How can the Warriors win this?
I think Surly touched on it perfectly. Completing sets, and I know we said like that you can't go set for set with them, but if you do make an error, Panthers are gonna capitalize on it. It's gonna be, honestly, it's gonna come down to, and the Warriors haven't won these moments the last 5 or 6 weeks. It is about single moments, whether it's Rocco Berry putting the ball down instead of Addo Carr running 100. It's if Kurt Capewell makes a break against Manly down the left-hand side, if there's a Warriors person there. It's about winning those little moments, and it is pretty cliche, but they've just got to be better than these Panthers players who are more experienced than them in these big moments, and not give up cheap errors as they have the last month of footy.
Where the Warriors have let themselves down, I think, a lot in the last little bit is those kind of intangibles, the lack of support plays, a lot of concentration errors coming out of your own half, stuff like that. Early in the season, they were the best team at getting out of their own half without knocking the ball on or handing the ball over. And I don't think that means you've got to play conservatively, but I think you've got to play smartly and pick your moments when you go for the attack. I think they should be throwing stuff at them, but I don't think it needs to lead to reckless footy either.
Yep.
I think if team changes, I think keep Lecker where he is. I'm sensing a big Lecker game this week.
Play Lecker big minutes. Come on. Being the best player for this Warriors team over the back half of the season, and it's not even close.
Yeah. All right. We are chewing time. Cronulla Sharks, $2.10. Roosters, $1.73. The total, 46.5. The line, 2.5. Trindle back. Nakota named an extended bench. I don't know why you just wouldn't name him. Surely he plays. Roosters unchanged. Teddy, what have you got?
Well, the big story of this one is the betting based around Nico Hines. Nico Hines suspended, then for some reason the NRL coming over the top and not suspended. So not really sure what that's about. Fairly embarrassing for the game, I would have thought. But Nico playing, and I think this is a very disrespectful line to the Sharks. I don't think they've won, I think 7 of their last 8. Everyone's going to the Roosters, the team with momentum. Yeah, the Sharks won 7 of their last 8. Their last 4 wins have been by 18 plus. They're playing pretty well. Right? They're only beating what's in front of them, and yet the Roosters are certainly beating more highly credentialed opposition. But I'm very keen on the Sharks in this one. They've covered 5 of their last 6 as an underdog at Shark Park, 25 of 42 at Shark Park overall, covered 25 of 41 in high total games over 46. Roosters covered a 6 of 15 for win, just 43% when favoured away from Allianz. So keen on the Sharks here, but particularly keen on the under as well in this game. The under is 16-6 in the Sharks game, in the last 20 Sharks games, 12-4 when they're also conceding 6 or fewer, 24-15 when they're off winning 13 plus, and 17-11 when the Roosters are off conceding 14 or fewer. So jumping all over the under in this one, and very keen on the Sharks as well.
Blake?
Yeah, look, the Roosters, you talk about momentum. It's what you want to be doing. And yeah, the Sharks have been 7 from 8. The Roosters in the last 6 weeks have scored over half of what the Knights have done in a full season. Might not be much.
I think it was like I think it was like 220 points in the last 6 games or something.
And you add to that, it's almost close to what the Bunnies have done in the whole season.
Love this.
And, you're getting closer and closer. So the Roosters against South on the weekend, mate, they're playing some great footy. And it's not only their offense, the defense is strengthened. If we go to the 2 games this year, the Roosters annihilated the Sharks 42-16. And then the Roosters played possibly their worst game of the season. If we remember, they tried to score off every single play against the Sharks at Shark Park. And the Sharks only beat them 31-18. And I just look at these 2 teams, and to be honest, the Sharks are the team that I have no faith in. I've had no faith in all year, so it's probably a good sign to go on them. But I just love the Roosters in this game, and I think Roosters are a shot in any game the way they play footy. They're not afraid to chance their arm, and sometimes it will hurt them. But I think the way their team's made up, with their forward pack especially, with their outside backs and Teddy in some argue career best form, I think the Roosters do this, and I'll be all over the line and the $1.73, and might even have something on the Roosters. But I do like Teddy to shout unders. That's in one of my plays later.
Shirley, anything to add here?
Nah, it's just interesting, The Roosters are like that bright, shiny toy that everyone loves getting on. The Sharks, it seems like over the last few years, they've come in with so much pressure into finals footy, and this is the best footy they've been playing leading into finals, and now no one expects them to do well. So that might help them. I like the Sharks more when I thought it was going to be Atkinson and Hines or Atkinson and Trindle. For some reason, I don't think Trindle and Hines play their best footy together, and both of them perform better when the other one's not there. So that swung me towards the Roosters.
Yeah, nice.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a couple of changes from that 31-18 win by the Sharks over the Roosters a few weeks ago. Cameron McInnes is out, obviously injured. I think he's a big loss for that Sharks pack, and instead of Chad Townsend in the halves with Sam Walker, Hugo Savala now combines with Walker. And I think that's a much
I forgot he played NRL this year.
That's a big plus for the Roosters. So that's why I'm leaning the Roosters' way.
I'm not sure he had 1 tackle or 1 run, so I'm not sure the stats will reflect he did play in that game.
Yeah, I think I said Sharks. I could have my arm twisted either way here.
The way the Sharks is, like someone mentioned earlier, they're 1-5 in finals and under Fitzgibbon. So they really have disappointed in September.
All right, last one before we get to some betting. Raiders $1.68, Broncos $2.20. The line 44.5. No, they've done it again. The total 44.5. The line is 3.5. Does conceding 50 last week hurt the Raiders at all?
Helps them. Teams are conceding 60 or more, 21-5 against the spread since 2008. So obviously, usually that's a similar team backing up, and there's very few backing up here. But it's going to hurt. It's going to help them rather than hurt them. And the other thing that's going to help them, there's a lot of complaining about, it should be. You'd rather play them at night on a cold Canberra. Not for me. The stats don't bear out that way. Daytime games, the Raiders have covered 11 of their last 13 day games, covered 7 or 8 day games at home. Broncos covered just 6 or 15 day games. You want to play the Broncos in afternoon conditions for them. I think that was an absolute stroke of genius from Ricky Stewart. And I'm not a Ricky Stewart sycophant by any stretch of the imagination, but I absolutely love that playing them there. And now I know it's hurting your Blacks. I love it even more. So well done to you, Ricky. They've covered 10 of 12 at home. They've covered 10 of 15 as a favourite. They've won 4 of the last 5 against the Broncos at Canberra Stadium. For the Broncos, they've covered 10 of the last 12, so no knock on their form. But Reynolds not coming back, Mam not coming back, Cobbo not coming back, so they're going to try and get through this week. They've covered just 5 of 15 and scoring 30 plus. They've covered just 2 of the last 8 in the state. Not great travellers. Rarely put 2 attacking performances together. So, and of course, Michael Maguire 62 and 96 over the last 7 seasons. Love the over in this one too. Very keen on the over. The over's here in 9 of the last 10 Broncos Raiders games. Over is 10 and 5 when Broncos play on the day, 20 and 13 when the Broncos play top 14. The Raiders will score points. I can't believe the total's so low here. So love the over, but Raiders absolutely outstanding bet for mine. I'm stunned that they're not favoured by at least a try.
Surely.
Yeah, I like the Raiders too. I think the Broncos' best asset at the moment is the form of Reece Walsh. I think the Raiders are perfectly set up to shut that down. Obviously, Payne Haas, that Raiders pack is huge. They're physical. They love challenges like that. Fogarty pulling the strings, putting the ball into corners, making Walshy do the stuff he doesn't like to do. I think Canberra are set up perfectly to beat this Broncos side and the style of play that they play. So I'm just backing them at home to be too strong because, as Teddy said, their home record, 9 out of 10 this year. They will get up for this because they will want another week off. And to be fair, they deserve it.
Yeah, I won't be too long because Surly basically touched on everything. I think for the Broncos to win, it relies on Payne Haas and the pack. And I can't see them dominating a Raiders pack that's so fearsome. And they will not give an inch in this game. Horsburgh, Papali'i, Tarpanere, like that pack. And I think for the Broncos to have any shot, which is Reece Walsh, Haas has got to be amazing. And yeah, I just like that Raiders pack to win this one.
It's a great pack. Like Haas might be able to dominate a lot of packs. You're not dominating Joe Tapane.
Yours, please.
I like the Broncos, and I like them because I don't like what Ricky Stewart has done here. I think, yeah, not just because
My confidence has just gone through the roof.
I don't like.
Have the numbers thrown you off a bit, Paul? Have facts thrown you?
Look, you know me, Teddy. I've never listened to your numbers, and that has cost me quite a few dollars. I do like the Broncos. I like the way they come into this game. I know they have a number of key injuries, but I think they've got enough here to get up and upset the Raiders. I don't think they can go all the way, though. I just think that for a one game, they can get up for this one, and I think this is the upset here.
Okay. Let's get to some betting.
Paul, are you ready to take some notes on this one this week, man?
I'll go first, though.
Yeah, you go.
I'm confident this week. I'm going to go 4 for 4 this week.
You went close last week,
yeah. I do. I went 3 for 4 last week.
Not according to Paulie's spreadsheet. No, I did not last week.
My best bet in the Warriors-Panthers game, either team by 10.5 or less at $2.05. My try scorer, also Warriors-Panthers game. If you go, there's a head-to-head try scorers. They've put Kirk Capewell up against Mr. McLean. You can get McLean at $2.60.
That is insane.
Then Kirk Capewell. And especially if the team changes and Capewell goes back. Like,
wow.
Oh no, the best hope for that is if Kirk Capewell stays where he is and Casey McLean's running anymore.
Or that. But I thought that was a bit of value there. I think Casey McLean's $2.35 anytime.
Yeah.
But Capewell doesn't score many tries. I'd be happy to
they'll
be
be on opposite sides of the field, won't they?
Yeah.
They'll be playing left centres, right?
Yeah, it's Pompey on McLean, but still.
Yeah.
Same game multi in the Storm Dogs game. So I've got Storm head-to-head under 38.5 and Ali Katoa and Willie Warbrook to combine for 1 or more tries at $4.15. And anything else under in the Storm Dogs game, Warriors plus 9.5, either team by 12 or less, 12.5 or less in the Sharks Roosters, into Raiders head-to-head at $9.86. 4 from 4. Blake, you're on screen. You go.
I'm on screen. Best bets, we have the Raiders minus 3.5, $1.90. Same game, try scorer, Adam Pompey, $3.60 to cross over. Has been in some great form, so I do not mind that at all. Same game multi, Daniel Tupou to score, KL Iro to score, under 46.5, $11.97. And my anything else is thanks for your approval, Teddy.
Approval, I'm just jotting it down so I can back it.
Anything else? Dogs and the Wars, alternate handicap plus 12.5. And the Roosters and the Raiders to win, $6.51.
Nice. Surly?
Best bet is Storm Dogs unders into either team 12.5 or less. Sharkies Roosters. My try scorer is Harry Grant at $4.40. My same game multi is Storm to win, Coates and Katoa at $5.24. But I was very tempted to Control C, Control V. Aisha's bet there because that was impressive, and I'll 100% be having a civilian bet on that one. And then my anything else,
Thanks for your approval, Sully.
yeah, and Teddy. And my anything else is Storm, Warriors, Roosters, Raiders at $13.95. I was tempted by a second rower special of Katoa, Leka, and Simi Sasangi at $75, but I will avoid that because, yeah, it's not the smartest, but I don't mind it.
Just wins now too.
Yeah, so get on.
Yeah. Teddy.
Best bet under 38.5 Melbourne Bulldogs, $1.90. Try scorer Ethan Strange at $3.75. Been great try scoring form of late. Same game multi Wars plus 10.5. Roger Tuivasa shape try. Casey McLean try at $8.39.
Like it.
And anything else? 61 plus points. Canberra Brisbane at $6.75.
Oh,
There's a lot of points up.
Talk about copy paste. Yes, please.
the Viking ain't the only thing getting clapped, according to Teddy. Oh, really?
Make a timestamp, Carl.
Wow,
Paulie told me to say that.
Bring us home.
My best bet, Ali Katoa, Mika Halasima, and Simi Sasangi all to score tries.
I was just as you were talking, I was trying to put that bet on so I don't forget. Now I'm just deleting the slip.
74-76, you can get it at Panthers.
No, my best bet is the Roosters to win by 13 or more at $3.30. My try scorer bet, Brian To'o to be the first try scorer at $8. My same game multi, Roosters to win, Tupou to score a try, Robert Toya to score a try, Muli Talo to score a try, comes out at $14.59.
Oh.
And my anything bet, 20 points or less in the Storm Bulldogs game at $11.
Geez, you're all out Sharks, aren't you? For a guy that had
These
been
are the
winning
desperate acts
everything.
of a desperate man.
Yeah, wow.
It's been that case for about the last 7 weeks, Teddy.
It's not getting any better from what I can tell.
That'll do us. We're done. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, team. We will be back next week to do week 2 of the NRL finals on the Advantage Line.